I have a martial arts class soon, and I'm kind of tired. You know what? Maybe I should just sleep in. I could tell the coach I'm sick because I really don't want to go. It's way too early. Maybe I will just skip today, right? I do have an excuse. You know what? Never mind. Screw it. I'm not going to listen to this inner voice. I'm going to put my shoes and I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to be honest with you. Every single class of mine, I feel the same resistance every morning. The same resistance telling me not to go. That, I could just tell him an excuse and not go because deep inside I know the amount of mental resilience I'm going to need for that session. I know I'm going to be sweating. I know he's going to kick my ass, truthfully, and it's not going to be easy. But for the past year that I've been training Muay Thai, I have chose not to listen to this inner bitch voice. It's still there, but I haven't listened to it. The other week, I hit my coach and I bruised him so hard, and he was surprisingly pretty happy about it. Let me tell you the story. I was training with my coach and I was hitting one low kick after another, and every single time I was hitting harder and harder, and my coach was tightening up every single time. You can see the impact it had on him. It was really hitting hard, and he was telling me, bro, I think I'm bruised. He took off the pad and I could see that I literally bruised him. And surprisingly, my coach was happy about that. He smiled through that pain because he told me, I'm so happy of the progress that you've made so far. Literally a year ago, you were a beginner in Muay Thai. You didn't know anything. And look at you now, hitting the coach well with really good form and good technique. And he was really proud of me at that moment. As I was drenched in sweat that day, a thought came up to my mind, and all I can think about is that this is what winning is about. Winning is about showing up every single time, whether it's to your practice, whether it's to the work they need to do. Showing up and doing it even with all the excuses. And now that my coach was complimenting me, I really felt the compound effect of my results of not listening to this inner bitch voice. Because imagine I did choose to listen to that voice. Imagine every single morning in my bed, I would choose not to go or delay the class for next week and tell him to cancel because I'm too tired and so on. Imagine doing that. I would not know my potential physically and mentally. I would not know how much I could have pushed myself to the limits, how much I could have learned this new skill, this new martial arts that I didn't know a year ago. So imagine in your life the potential you're putting off when you're listening to this inner bitch voice and you're negotiating with it and you're actually letting it win. Because all I can think about is that if I listened to this voice, I would be living life with more regret, not knowing my potential. And it feels great every single day knowing that I pushed myself to the limit and did not listen to these thoughts telling me to choose the easy route. After every single session, I'm going to talk about Muay Thai again as an example. I feel amazing. I literally feel so many endorphins and just like a high that not only I did something hard, but I did it especially when my brain told me not to, especially when I had these thoughts convincing me not to. And so this is how life works. Think back with me right now. Do you remember all those times where you did something hard, especially when you didn't want to, especially when you had such resistance in your brain? How did it feel after? Of course, it felt amazing. Of course, after doing the hard thing, it felt amazing, but you keep forgetting that. You keep forgetting that it does feel amazing. I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't want to hear right now, but it's this inner bitch voice that you listen to all the time that is holding you from an amazing life. There's an amazing quote, and it says that the first battle you have to win every day is the one between your ears. We all have this battle in our head not to do the hard thing. This voice that you negotiate with every time, not to go to the gym, to keep strolling, to keep procrastinating, not to do the hard tasks. We all have this voice. Now the difference is how we handle it. Most average people just flat out listen to the voice. They're not even aware that there is a voice, but they just listen to that chatter telling them to choose the easy route. And to be frank with you, they're a little bit mindless NPCs because they're just listening to whatever their brain tells them to choose the easy path. Okay, I won't go to the gym. I'm too tired. If you experience this, keep listening because I want to tell you what happens when you keep listening to this inner bitch. When you're listening to this inner bitch, you're choosing the life of easy now and hard later. You have to understand that your life is either easy now, hard later, or hard now and easy later. You have a choice every single day. Let me give you an example of easy now, hard later. For me, with a Muay Thai example, it's choosing not to go, not to get out of my comfort zone and learn Muay Thai and go every single week to practice. That's easy, right? Hard is in the future where I don't know my full fighting potential, my full physical capabilities. Another example is stretching. Everyone doesn't want to stretch, especially guys are like, stretching is weird, yoga is weird, it's not for guys, I shouldn't do it. That's easy, right? It's easy to come up with excuses why you don't need to stretch. But guess what's hard down the line? It's not being able to wake up from your bed because you're full of pain. You're full of back pain. You're full of knee pain, shoulder pain. You can't get out of bed because you didn't stretch. You didn't move your body to its fullest capabilities when you were younger. Another example of easy now, hard later is skipping meditation. It's so easy to not meditate. You've heard of meditation and you're like, bro, I don't need to do that. It's stupid. Why would I meditate for 15 minutes? It is stupid, right? It's stupid. But you know what's stupid? Not meditating and being a slave to your own mind and your own desires. Not meditating and listening more and more to your inner bitch as you grow older. Listening to everything it has to say, all the excuses. And because you didn't meditate, because you're not mindful of it, you just listen to it. You're like, oh, you said not to go work out? I'm not going to work out. Is that what you want? Another form of easy now, hard later is procrastinating. It's easy now to procrastinate. It feels good to not do it, to not do that task. But what's harder down the line is that stress that comes with it, that you didn't take the action a few days ago. And you waited to take the action. Another example is food. Deciding easy now to eat that unhealthy food, to eat that junk food. It's so easy. It's like quick calories. It's not going to hurt me, right? All this bullshit about healthy food. It's expensive. Healthy food is expensive. Why would I waste money on expensive food? It's stupid. That's easy now. But you know what's hard later? The medical bills that start piling up, which are more expensive, by the way, than that healthy food you didn't want to buy. Secondly is all the medical issues that you'll have down the line, diseases. I don't wish that for anyone, but I could tell you that choosing this easy path of unhealthy food will come at a consequence. Another example is nofap, is quitting porn. It's easy to cope today and say that porn is fine for me. Just 10 minutes per day is okay. I still am successful and I have a great life. It's fine. You can say that all you want. But truthfully, that is the easy path, because down the line, when you're having sex with a woman of your dreams and your dick can't get hard, you're going to regret watching porn. You're going to regret choosing the easy path. You're going to be imagining all these sexual fantasies from years of watching porn. But guess what? You can't even get hard to the woman right in front of you because of that. I'm sorry, it cut up to you because you chose the easy route. You thought that instant gratification has no consequences, and let me tell you that it does. And it's going to haunt you in the future, whether you want it or not. Speaking of nofap, I got an ebook down below that will help you crush all your nofap urges. I want to have some compassion now and tell you that I don't blame you for listening to your inner bitch voice. The easy route is what is ingrained in us as humans, evolutionary. Our species is inherently lazy. With our ancestors, laziness was a survival mechanism. Why do you need to spend unnecessary energy and effort where you can save the energy for a time of crisis? Let's say a mountain lion comes to your cave and tries to kill your whole family. Our species, our ancestors were lazy. Think about our daily lives in the past. It's waking up, hunting, saving energy, sleeping again, conserving energy, constantly protecting ourselves from danger. But you have to understand that we are not living in those times anymore. But it's crazy to think about that. Following through and choosing a life of delaying gratification is actually against our human nature. We are literally programmed as humans to stay on the safe path. This inner bitch voice is almost like a safety mechanism. It's trying to keep us in the safe world. It's trying to keep us away from change. It's trying to keep us in the same safe space, in the same space where everything is familiar. Do you want that for your life? Is that what you aspire to become? 50,000 years ago, this protection mechanism was important, like we talked about, but this does not serve you anymore. Our brains constantly want to prioritize familiarity over growth because change feels like a threat. Change feels like a threat to our survival. Once you know that your brain is literally trying to keep you safe, I think awareness in and of itself is transformative, and this in itself could change your life. So let me give you some practical advice. What should you do about this inner bitch voice? You have to constantly in everyday life choose the path of hard now, easy later. This is the path of delaying gratification. You had an intention of going to the gym, so go do it. Follow through with what you said you will do. Let's make following through more of a habit for you, right? Because the more you follow through, the more you do what you said you would do, the more respect you have for yourself. And the opposite also holds true. If you don't do what you said you would do, if you don't follow through with your desires, with your goals, you will constantly lose respect for yourself. And the thing is, no one knows how well you follow through with your goals, with your desires in your head, but you. So only you can judge how well you're doing in this realm. And I hope that this video will inspire you to do better, because we all can do better. Now that we're on the same page and you want to choose the path of hard now, easy later, what you need to do is to constantly train your brain to push a little bit past this inner voice, this inner bitch, and train it almost like a muscle. Every time you push a little bit past it, a little bit past that comfort zone, a little bit past your desires to skip the gym, to skip the hard work, to procrastinate, you strengthen that muscle every single time you push past it. And the more you push past this inner voice, the more you start to not listen to it, the better your life will get. And that is a fact. It's almost like a follow through muscle. You said you'll do something. You said you'll go work out. You said you'll do this hard thing. Learn to follow through with it. I think the more you do this, the more you follow through, the more you don't listen to this inner bitch voice, the easier it'll get. This is obvious, but you don't do this. An example is, let's say you haven't trained, you haven't went to the gym for the past month. Working out now feels extremely overwhelming and difficult, and I understand that. So what you need to do, instead of listening to that inner bitch telling you not to hit the workout, you're going to push a little bit over that voice. You're going to lean a little bit more towards that discomfort. So instead of hitting a crazy 2-hour workout, what if you just hit like a 15-minute workout? If you take one thing from the video, it's this. So lean into that discomfort, especially when the inner bitch voice is telling you not to. There's a really good quote I want to tell you now from The Way of the Superior Man. David Detta says, "In any given moment, a man's growth is optimized if he leans just beyond his edge, his capacity, his fear. He should not be too lazy, happily stagnating in the zone of security and comfort. He should lean just slightly beyond the edge of fear and discomfort, constantly, in everything he does." Let's be clear here. All the amazing things in life are on the other side of this inner bitch voice. All the amazing things in life are on the other side of all the excuses that you keep giving yourself. So learn to lean into that, brother. Learn to lean into that discomfort, especially when you don't want to. For this next section, I want you to learn to be a friend of this inner bitch voice. And I know this sounds crazy, but let me tell you something. This inner bitch voice will always be there. As I told you, it's still in my life. It's not going away. The only thing that changes is how you frame it and how you see it, how you perceive this inner bitch voice. So yes, over time, it might be quieter. It might not be as loud, but it will be there. So because it's always going to be there, you need to learn to befriend it. And I know this sounds crazy and maybe even weird, but you should even smile when you hear those excuses in your head. Those excuses telling you not to do the hard tasks. Those excuses keeping you in mediocrity. Smile when those excuses come, because I promise just smiling is another step towards befriending that side. Those thoughts, like I said, and that inner bitch voice will always be there. So why not befriend it? Why not reframe it as a good thing? Why is it a good thing, you may ask? Your inner voice, your inner bitch voice is a good thing and is actually a gift, believe it or not, because it's showing you where your comfort zone now presently is. It's showing you where you need to lean past it, like we talked about. It's showing you that line, right? This is where I'm uncomfortable. It's literally showing it to you in front of your face, and you're like ignoring it every single time. You're like pissed that you have that inner bitch voice, but it's actually a gift, believe it or not. The other day I was going to meet a friend for a workout, and the workout was like in 30 minutes and we made plans to meet, and I was excited. And then I heard this inner bitch voice. It came to me and it told me, damn, you have a 30-minute drive ahead of you. I don't know if you're going to make it. Maybe you should cancel. You know what? I trained yesterday. Maybe I should just tell him that I'm too sore, right? That'd be a good excuse. I caught myself in so many excuses, and I stopped myself for a second. And weirdly enough, I smiled. I smiled at this inner bitch voice because it's showing me now where my comfort zone is. It's showing me that I need to actually push past this, especially because the inner bitch voice is telling me not to do it. And that is where you grow. That is exactly where that muscle that we talked about gets strengthened. I smiled that day. And I pushed myself to go anyway and not listen. And believe it or not, it was such a great workout. I was sore for the whole week and I smiled because I ended up doing what I didn't want to do. And it's moments like these that really change you. You will literally be light years ahead of all the average people in this world if you choose to follow through. Follow through with what you said you'll do. Follow through with your desires and your goals. Do the hard thing, especially when your brain is telling you not to. Because what do most people do, right? The New Year's is coming soon. Most people, January 2025, they're going to tell themselves, I'm going to hit the gym every single day. I'm going to be consistent. And guess what happens? They don't get consistent. It's like such a known thing. Gyms even know about this. Gyms know that there's going to be a peak sign-up period in January, and then it's going to go down, and not a lot of people are going to go. And this only proves to you that most people don't follow through. Most people don't do what they'll say they'll do. You will be ahead of everyone if you choose not to rely on motivation, if you choose to follow through no matter how you're feeling, no matter your emotion. You show up no matter how you feel. Be consistent no matter how you feel. You feel shitty, good, go work out. Go do the hard tasks. You feel bad, you're crying, go do it. I don't care. No one cares. Does anyone care that you feel bad, that you're sad? No one cares. That's the truth. So you shouldn't care either, and you should push past that and do that hard task. Your emotion follows your motion. What does that mean? There's a psychologist called William James, and he theorized that many times your emotions are a result of your physical actions. Let me give you an example. If you smile right now, right? Let's smile together. We're going to smile, right? Let's smile now. You're going to feel better. Even if you had a shitty day, I'm smiling now. I feel great. I feel great. So although you felt shit before, you force yourself to smile and you feel better. What does this mean if you understand this? It means that if you take action towards a goal, towards a desire, no matter if you feel unmotivated, you feel like shit, you don't have energy, the emotion will come afterwards. This is not like revolutionary, but you need to hear it again and again. I need to hear it every single week. I need to hear it every single day. This is how we work as humans. We're not going to have motivation every single day. But guess what? You take the first step towards the action you want to take, and you'll feel like you want to do it suddenly. So for me, with the Muay Thai example, it was literally doing one step at a time. First, getting out of bed, putting my shoes, getting out of my room, going into my car, driving, one step at a time until I was there. And then suddenly I had energy and motivation to get that training session started. Isn't that magical? So for this section, understand that your emotion follows your motion. Just take the first step towards the goal that you want to do. Stop thinking of all the steps ahead, of step number 90, step number 127. Stop planning all this shit one step at a time. And suddenly the motivation, the energy, it's all gonna come. Your inner bitch voice will test you constantly, and I mean it, constantly. And the most important thing, honestly, in these kind of moments when your inner bitch voice is testing you, it's having a why. People who are winning at life, who take constant action towards their goals, they have a why. They know they're doing something for a greater reason, for a greater good, even if it's to benefit themselves, but they have a why. So it's especially moments like these that I want you to remind yourself your why. You don't want to hit that workout. Your inner bitch voice is telling you, don't go work out. You hit the workout yesterday. This is a perfect time to remind yourself, why am I hitting a workout? It's so I can live to 100 to see my grandchildren. So I can live a healthy life, so I can set a strong example for my friends, for my family, so I can be strong, so I can look amazing. Having a why is more important than you think, and I really think that you should, especially in moments like these, where your inner bitch voice is testing you, remind yourself of your why. For this section, I kind of want to scare you, and I don't mean this in a bad way, almost in a way where I want you to think about what would happen if you keep listening to that inner bitch voice, telling you to choose all those easy routes in your life and honestly putting you in a place where you're pretty average in like 10 years. How does that make you feel? How do you think your life will look like if you keep listening to that voice, keeping you in mediocrity? Your bad habits will compound. And believe it or not, if you keep listening to that inner bitch voice, your life will look terrible. So for this section, I really constantly want you to remind yourself, what will happen if I keep listening to it? And we all have a different inner bitch voice telling us different excuses. So what does yours look like? I want you to even journal about it. What would my life look like if I keep on doing it, if I keep listening to it? And that should genuinely scare you. It really should scare you. The thing is, everyone wants to change. Everyone wants a better life. Everyone wants, this girl that they want, this dream girl. Everyone wants more money. Thing is not everyone is willing to take those steps. Because if all you take from this video is, oh, I feel a little bit motivated, and you don't change anything, surprise, surprise, shocker, your life is going to look the same. There's a quote by Aristotle, and he says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. If you repeatedly chase discomfort, if you repeatedly get out of your comfort zone, your life will look amazing. You know this. If you do the opposite of this, your life will be shit. Newton's law says that an object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by another force. Understand in this section that no one is coming to save you. If you don't generally take this advice and not just see it as another YouTube video, another piece of advice that you're going to forget tomorrow, if you don't take this advice, your life will not change. No one is coming to save you. And that is one of the truths of life, that if it's not you, it's no one. And if you do decide to change, and if you do decide to chase that discomfort like we talked about, you know what will be on your side? Neuroplasticity will be on your side. Your brain will actually be on your side. And let me tell you why. Our brains are malleable and they constantly form new neural pathways. Every time you overcome this inner bitch voice telling you to quit, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're rewiring your brain to favor resilience over avoidance. So what is this doing? Down the line, challenges 10, 15, 20 years down the line are going to be easier to overcome. They're going to be easier to handle. And this is, you talk about discipline, this is what builds long-term discipline. An issue is that many of you aren't even aware of this inner bitch voice. You think I'm crazy for talking about it, but I'm pretty much not. I can promise to you that we all have it. And maybe it looks different for you, but we all have that inner bitch voice telling us not to do the hard work. And it is an issue, honestly, that you're not aware of it. This should serve as a reminder for you to meditate. If you don't meditate, or if you do, meditate more. Because the more you meditate, the more you can become an observer of this inner bitch voice. The more you can befriend it, right? Like we talked about before, seeing it as your friend. The more mindful you can become of your own thoughts, the easier it will be to befriend this inner bitch voice, to genuinely smile at it and not look at it weirdly. And this comes with practice. This comes with consistent meditation. And like we talked about, the consequences of not meditating are pretty vast. Meditating seems hard now, not worth it in today's world, in the present day. But down the line, you're going to be suffering not only with this inner bitch voice, but you're going to be suffering with a difficult life that you've basically much chased a lot of instant gratification because you don't have this mental awareness. Meditation is almost like going to the gym, but for your brain. So this section should serve as a reminder for you to meditate consistently. Finally, in terms of taking action towards difficult tasks, I want to remind you that there will never be a perfect time to take action. How many times have we heard of this? There is never a perfect time. Stop living in this Disney fairy tale that there will be a best time to start your business. There'll be the best time to work out. You're never gonna feel like it. Stop waiting for that motivation. The perfect time will never come. And the perfect time, believe it or not, is actually in the present moment. So befriend that inner bitch voice. Befriend the present moment because it's all you have. And chase discomfort every single day. Brother, I hope this helped you. I have a resource down below for people who are struggling with quitting porn. It's a NoFap ebook. I hope it helps you overcome your NoFap urges. It's free, so check it out. I'll see you next time. Peace.